I wake up every single day. I am who I say I am. And I get what I get because I live in beast mode. Y'all got to do me a favor. Stop being gazelles. You're not average. You were born to be great. You were born to be great. You are a chosen generation. You're not average.
In the beginning, everybody's going to conquer the world. After a few weeks, a few months, maybe even a few years, they start to get tired. They start to get frustrated. They start to ask, why is this so hard? They start to ask, why is this so hard for me? And that's when people quit. When you start feeling that massive frustration, that massive anger, that massive stress, you are about to have a breakthrough. You are about to move through an area that most people can't make it through. You need to have grit. You need to have the stick-to-itiveness to persevere past the point that your competition will. It's the ones who understand that things are going to improve and keep focused on the end result that make it through it.
You will not defeat me. You will not destroy me. Some of you are so ignorant. You've been through so much hell. You gonna quit now? You got 2 more to go. And when you get to success, it's not about skill. When you get to a certain level of success, it's about stamina.
So you got to be willing to grow. Osborne said, unless you attempt to do something beyond that which you've already mastered, you will never grow. So you've got to decide to grow. See, most people won't try and grow. Now, why wasn't I willing to do that, ladies and gentlemen? Because I didn't want to fail. I didn't want to look stupid. I didn't want to admit the fact that I didn't know something. 85% of people in life allow their fear of failure to outweigh their desire to succeed. Repeat after me, please. Anything that's worth doing is worth doing badly. Absolutely. See, if you know how to do something right, well, it only makes sense to do it right. But see, I wasn't willing to be a businessman badly. See, if you want to make it in life, here's how you can begin to make your goal, ladies and gentlemen. Decide to make your life a great experiment. See, most people want to experiment, ladies and gentlemen. Most people want to be perfect when they come out the gate. Most people want to do things right all the time. You're not going to do everything right. You're going to make a lot of mistakes. You're going to have a lot of failures. You're going to have a lot of struggles. You're going to feel dumb and ask questions and don't know what to do or where to go. And that's part of growing. That's part of the experimentation process. See, life is about living. Life is about growing. Life is about challenging yourself. Life is about stretching. What if you don't make it? So what? I'm enjoying the trip. Hello. That's what life is about. Say, I want some juice in my life. Say that, please. See, a lot of people going through life and they just dead. How you doing, honey? I'm just trying to make it. Give me a break. No, I want some juice in my life. I mean, it's no in-between for me. I don't want any in-between. They say, even if I go out, I saw this movie called Glory. Say, he went down standing up. You better believe it. So a lot of people have died already. Somebody said that many people die at age 21 and don't get buried until they're 65. They play it safe. They don't take any chances. Well, as soon as I graduate, or as soon as the bills are paid, as soon as the children grow up, as soon as I get my divorce, all this kind of stuff up in here. No. If there's something you want to do, don't live like you have 1,000 years to live. Decide that you're going to experiment with your life. Decide that you're going to take some chances. See, ladies and gentlemen, if you're not willing to risk, you're not willing to grow. And if you're not willing to grow, you're not willing to be your best. And if you're not willing to be your best, you can't be happy. And if you can't be happy, then what else is there? So think about that. Decide to make your life an experiment. Decide to take some chances and come out in the universe and find out what you're made of. Here's something else. Here's what can change your life. Think about your situation. This is what happened for me. It was a moment of truth for me. If you embrace this, I guarantee you, I don't care if you're in sales, I don't care what kind of business that you're in. You can be in the mortgage business, automobile business, any kind of business. If you embrace this dream that you're thinking about, this goal that you have in your mind, this vision that you have of yourself, if you embrace this, ladies and gentlemen, it will change your life. This is what happened for me. You've got to get to the point where you can say to yourself, this is the key to changing your life. When you say that, repeat please, I have had it.
Likewise, our thoughts require discipline. We must set up our inner boundaries, our codes of conduct, or our thoughts will be confused. And with confused thoughts, we'll end up being confused, hopelessly lost in the maze of life. And confused thoughts produce confused results. Look around you at this very moment in time. What might you be doing that needs attention? Perhaps you're on the brink of giving up, or starting over, or starting out. And the only missing ingredient to your incredible success story in the future is a new and self-imposed discipline that will make you stay longer and try harder and work more intensely than you ever thought you possibly could. The most valuable form of discipline is the one that you impose on yourself. Don't wait for things to deteriorate so drastically that someone else must impose discipline into your life. Wouldn't that be tragic? How could you possibly explain the fact that someone else thought more of you than you thought of yourself? That they forced you to get up early and get out into the marketplace when you would have been content to let success go to someone else who cared more about themselves? Your life, my life, the life of each one of us is going to serve as either a warning or an example. A warning of the consequences of neglect, self-pity, lack of direction and ambition, or an example of talent put to use. Here's the third step to becoming consistently self-disciplined. Number one is realizing that discipline isn't the easiest option. Number two, discipline is a full-time activity, day by day, every day. And the third step to becoming self-disciplined is really a philosophy that holds one of life's unique promises. Number three simply says, for every disciplined effort, there is a multiple reward. That's one of life's great arrangements. It's like the law of sowing and reaping. In fact, it's an extension of the biblical law that says if you sow well, you reap well. Now here's a unique part of the law of sowing and reaping. Not only does it suggest that we'll all reap what we've sown, it also suggests that we'll reap much more. Life is full of laws that both govern and explain behaviors. But this may well be the major law we need to understand. For every disciplined effort, a multiple reward. For every disciplined effort, a multiple reward. What a concept. If you render unique service, your reward will be multiplied. If you're fair and honest and patient with others, your reward will be multiplied. If you give more than you expect to receive, your reward is more than you expect. But remember, the key word here, as you might well imagine, is discipline. Everything of value requires care and attention. Everything of value requires discipline. Children require discipline. They must have a structure built for them. They must have boundaries to work within so they feel secure and comfortable to explore and grow. They must learn to recognize what's right and what's wrong, what's acceptable behavior, what's not acceptable. Children require unwavering discipline, consistent discipline, or they'll be confused as to how they're supposed to behave.
See, I always wanted to be a speaker and a trainer. I wanted to make an indelible impact in the training industry. But I didn't want to be a businessman. I'm a first-generation entrepreneur in my family. Because I was told I was dumb and stupid most of my life, I unconsciously developed a tremendous phobia about paper. If you say, let's write me a speech, I automatically become nervous. I can't write you a speech, but I can give you a speech. But I can't write you one. I can't tell you the principles of speaking and what it takes, but I can demonstrate it for you. I can show you how to speak. but I can't give you a written explanation for it. I'm not smart like my sister who graduated from the University of Miami, but I have people on my staff with her education that work for me. But I can't write stuff that they write because that's not my area of strength. But so I had a fear. I felt I could not operate a business. And so I wanted to hire a consultant to take care of the details. I had given this consultant power of attorney to sign checks and handle my business. I called my consultant and said, listen, I've thought about this. It's time for me to grow. I've got to be willing to handle my own business. I want to meet with you. I need to develop a working knowledge of this. I've got to stop running from this. I've got to learn, admit my ignorance, and decide it doesn't have to be like this for me. To make a long story short, my consultant canceled 14 meetings with me. And when I finally got my books back and have not seen my consultant to this day, I knew why. That thousands of funds have been embezzled from my account. Now, whatever happened in our lives, we allow it, we permit it, and we promote it. So it was just an education as my career is going up, not coming down, but it's going up. It was just a tuition I had to pay in the universe because I wasn't willing to learn. I wasn't willing to do that. Now, here's something else that's fascinating. I said, okay, see, if you're not willing to grow in life, life will kick your butt until you surrender. So I said, okay, I'm willing to learn. And here's what I discovered. It's not as hard as I thought it would be. It has blown my mind. It's unbelievable. I said, if I had known, here I am, I'll be 45 February the 17th. I've been running from things that I consider difficult. And if I had known it's this simple, I've been doing it long before.
Some of y'all, you lying to yourself. You say you want to be great. You say you want to get to the next level. You say you want to be a national champion. You say you want a promotion. You say you want to start your own business. You talk too much. Shut up. There's nothing wrong with the opportunity. You're not giving 120. You're giving 70. You're giving 60. You're giving 50. And you want what these people who've given sweat, who's given blood, who's given tears, you want what they paid for, and it ain't free. You said you want to be great. You want to do great things. You want to have great. You want to be great. Listen to me, but on the other hand, you're comfortable with average.
Stop wasting valuable time. Knowing that if we begin to live our lives as if each day were our last, our lives will take on a whole new meaning.
And whatever it is, sports, life, business, whatever it is, health, listen to me very closely. You got to change that mindset.
You, me, or nobody is going to hit as hard as life. But it ain't about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving forward. That's how winning is done.
Self-preparation. Be ready for tomorrow by doing all that you can today, setting your goals. Set a goal that will make you stretch for what it will make of you to achieve it. What a brand new reason for setting goals. What an all-encompassing challenge to have a better vision of the future, to see what it will make of you to achieve it. So there you have the two components of positive self-direction. Number one, self-knowledge, knowing who you are and what you want to do with your life. And number two, self-preparation, getting ready for the opportunities before they come your way. You need both aspects for positive self-direction. Figuring out who you are and what you want, and being prepared for the day you reach your goals, being ready, being worthy, becoming the person you need to be in pursuit of what you want. What good is an opportunity if you're not prepared to take advantage of it? It's no good. Won't do a thing for you. Be prepared. Self-preparation. The benefits are, number one, it moves you toward your goals, and number two, it refuels your ambition. Be prepared. Get ready. This method of self-preparation involves 3 steps. Step 1. Carefully consider where the next opportunity for reaching your goal will originate. Where will it come from? Will it come from networking with your colleagues? Will it come from reading the last book that you bought? The book that's still sitting on your shelf waiting to give you some answers? Will it come from you taking the time to think it out? Where will it come from? The next opportunity that will push you forward. If you don't know, here's what you have to do. For each major goal of yours, the top priorities on your list, for each of these, take out a separate piece of paper, one single sheet per major goal, write down your goal at the top and start listing all reasonable resources. Write down every possible place that you could find the opportunity to achieve this goal. And with each resource, classify them. Ask yourself, is this resource a sure thing? A good bet? About even chances? Unlikely? A long shot? Ask yourself these questions and classify all of the resources you have written down. That's the first step. The second step in this method of self-preparation is to make sure you know what you need to do to be prepared for your opportunities. Go through your entire list of goals and resources and classify them. Break each resource into concrete steps of preparation. Start by working on the sure bets first, and then move down the line. The long shots will come through every so often, but start with the resources that will serve you best now. Get ready for the opportunities before they come your way. Step 3 in the self-preparation method is to do all you can to make each opportunity more likely to happen. After you've determined what you have to do to get ready, to be prepared, after you've determined this, see what you can do to expedite the process. What can you do to increase the likelihood of this opportunity? Go over it and over it and over it. Use these 3 methods again and again as you assess where you are now and where you have to go next to keep moving toward the achievements that are most important to you. Step 1, consider your resources. Step 2, determine what you have to do to get ready. Step 3, expedite the opportunities. And by the way, this method of self-preparation works wherever you are in your journey, whether you're close to your goals or whether you're just starting your journey of self-direction. This method works. Have working knowledge to draw from. Continually work on yourself in preparation of where you want to be. Build a reservoir of thoughts and ideas and philosophies and experiences that are your own. Build, grow, change, get ready, be prepared. Be prepared for a life worth living. Now here are the 4 ifs that make life worthwhile. Number 1, life is worthwhile if you learn. Nothing worse than being stupid. Life is worthwhile if you learn. Learn from your personal experiences. Learn from other people's experiences. Second, life is worthwhile if you try. Now you've got to take what you've learned and see if you can try your hand at it. Someone says, well, you can't try, you have to do. No, you have to try. I put the bar up 2 feet and ask the kids who can jump 2 feet. I can, some say. I can't, some say. I don't know, some say. How are you going to know? You don't. You've just got to try. Just back off and run at it. How are you going to know if you don't try? Now, what if you knock the bar down? Does that mean you can't jump 2 feet? No. You have to what? Try it again. Of course, you have to try. Try it another way, but try. Try your hand at it. When the record book on you is finished, let it show your wins and your losses, but don't let the record book show that you didn't try.
We all have people that come against us, make negative comments. Human nature is to get in there and try to straighten them out, prove to them how they're wrong. But the problem with this approach is as soon as you get one person straightened out, 3 more will pop up. If you're constantly trying to defend yourself, you'll get distracted fighting battles that you were never supposed to fight. Do you know how much energy it takes to try to pay somebody back? You are spending emotional energy that you need for your dreams. You don't have to defend yourself. God said He will defend you. Quit worrying about the chatter, the negative comments. Those are all distractions. Well, Joel, I'm upset because I'm a good person. Doesn't matter how good you are, kind, upstanding, somebody's not going to like you. It happened with Jesus. He did nothing but good, but He was falsely accused. He was misunderstood. How did He protect His reputation? It says in 1 Peter, even though He had never sinned, He did not retaliate when He was insulted. He left His case in the hands of God. How much more peace you would have if you would start leaving your cases in the hands of God. I can assure you, God can vindicate you better than you can vindicate yourself. You don't have to try to pay people back, convince them to change their mind. Some people are never going to be for you. They're intent on misunderstanding you. They don't want to see your point of view. Now, don't go the next 5 years engaged in a battle that you're not supposed to be engaged in. Quit worrying about what they think. Quit getting all riled up thinking about how you can retaliate. I'm not going to spend my life worried about what somebody's saying, upset because they don't like me. God, I know You're my defender. That's when the Creator of the universe will go to work. When they try to make you look bad, He'll turn it around and cause you to look good. He'll cause you to shine. Quit spending all your time trying to defend yourself. You have a defender. He knows how to bring justice. He knows how to vindicate you. If you're consumed with what other people think, I've got to convince them to believe in me, then you'll get distracted and miss your destiny. God said He will fight your battles. He'll take care of that friend that's trying to make you look bad. God knows how to settle your case. People can dislike you without a cause. It'd be one thing if they knew you and didn't like you, but they judge you from a distance. They don't like you because you're happy, because you're a different nationality. They'll attack you behind your back and try to belittle, discredit you. Are you going to get offended and try to straighten them out and get involved in a battle that you're not supposed to fight? They don't control your destiny. One of the best things we can learn to do is ignore it. That's how you leave it in the hands of God. And the more successful you are, the higher you go, more people will come against you. Everybody loved you until you got that promotion, till you married that beautiful girl. Now the critics have come out of the woodwork. What the best strategy is to get even, can I tell you what it is? Be still. God said in Jeremiah, I will defend you. I will take on your case. Can you imagine having the Creator of the universe defending you? You don't have to try to prove to people who you are. You can stay in peace knowing that it's not your battle. It's your case, but the battle is the Lord's. Can I tell you, He's never lost a case. Why don't you sit back and let your defender do his job? God takes it seriously when somebody tries to discredit you. You don't have to get upset. God sees what's happening. And sometimes He'll cause them to be quiet. Other times He'll let them keep talking and just keep promoting you. They think they're hurting you. The truth is they're helping you. God is paying you back by taking you to new levels. That's your defender at work. Quit living frustrated, trying to win somebody over that's never going to be for you. Everybody's not supposed to be for you. You don't have to try to pay them back, get even. Just run your race with purpose, with joy, and let the negative bounce off of you. I don't mean to be negative, but somebody's always going to be talking about you. Somebody's always going to be jealous. That's not your battle. How much freer could you live if you would start leaving those cases in the hands of God? And as long as you're honoring God, no person can stop you, no group. Promotion doesn't come from people, it comes from the Lord. And some people, no matter what you do, are not going to be for you. Not everyone is going to like you or understand you. If you want everybody to like you, you'll get stuck. How much time are you spending worried about what they're saying? Trying to pay that friend back for making you look bad. You don't have time for all that pettiness. Let it go in one ear and out the other, and use that energy to move toward your God-given dreams.
My iPhone has my vision board on it. I ain't got no picture of no dog or my wife on my phone. My wife is at my house. Because I put stuff that I dream about on my iPhone. So every time my phone rings, I look at it, I think of my visions and dreams. Every time I pick up that phone, I should pick up that phone to make one of them dreams come true. So every time I'm texting or email, I'm trying to make a dream come true. I don't have time for nonsense. What they say about me in the blogs, it don't matter what they say. They don't know me. God keeps blessing me. It don't matter what you say. You got to know who you are and whose you are. I know who I am and I know who I belong to. And that God of mine ain't gonna let nothing happen to me.
Stop comparing yourself to other people. You're only on this planet to be you.
The first thing I think you need to understand is that these people that you're comparing yourself to, you don't really know very well. What that means is that you see their shiny outside, but you don't see the reality of their life.
Social media just shows the highlights, right? We live in a time where perception has become our God. And I know this might seem over the top, but we really live in a time where perception has become our God. People are more concerned about the perception of them than the reality of them. They want to make people think they're a certain way than letting the world see how they truly are, right? A lot of insecurity, a lot of significance things that are driven in that whole conversation.
I went on Instagram the other day and I saw Kevin Hart and I felt like a failure in my whole life. I felt like, what am I doing with my whole life? Within 15 seconds, here I am with a burden on me that I wasn't built for by comparing myself to someone with a different calling.
That little moment that I stopped pretending allowed the real me to come through. Your life journey is about learning to become more of who you are and fulfilling the highest, truest expression of yourself as a human being. That's why you're here.
The ideal that you're observing that makes you jealous and resentful is in large part an illusion that's created by your own mind. You have to be careful of what you're jealous of because you don't really know what it is. And then the other thing that's kind of useful is to understand that you're different from everyone else.
You see the person traveling the world, you see the person making moves with their life, all these things, and instead of those things inspiring us, sometimes, it discourages us because it makes us think that we aren't where we should be. And I think that's one of the biggest mistakes that we can make is comparing our lives to other people's lives, because you have to understand something. Your journey is your journey. We all have different paths in life, and the more we compare our journey to other people's journey, the more we'll appreciate our path of our lives.
You see people in the health world, fitness world, God, how did they get a six-pack? Oh, you gave me a tire around my waist. What happens every time I compare, I feel less than. Never compare your becoming to someone else's becoming. every time I compare myself to someone else, I'm always going to lose my way. Because the gap that God is filling in my life is not the gap between me and you, but rather the gap that God is filling in my life is who I currently am and who he's calling me to become.
Compare yourself to who you were yesterday and not to who someone else is today. See, that's a game you can win. You could be a little better today than you were yesterday, and that's a good thing. You know, no doubt there are some things that you could improve. You know, if you sit and meditate for any length of time about what you're not doing optimally, answers will spring to mind.
I should be doing what God has called me to do. I should be doing what's best for my life. You know, because if we pull back the curtains on a lot of people's lives, who knows? Your life could be a lot better than theirs. You know, you might be thanking God that you're not in their shoes. You're wishing to be in their shoes, but once you get in their shoes, you realize that their walk, their path, their journey is a lot harder than yours. And what they were showing you was just something that you can perceive to be great, something that you can perceive to be good, something that you can perceive to be successful. We live in a world full of fakeness.
So I believe that whatever season you find yourself in, married, unmarried, single, divorced, is complicated. I believe you can walk in security. Be the minority because the majority is overrated. We're living in a day and age right now where so many people, they bow down to the culture. And we just start doing what the crowd is doing, whatever the crowd says to do. So many of us, we're just doing things that we don't even agree with or believe in simply because our friends are doing it. The only problem with that notion is that your friends don't have the life that you want.
Don't have a weak mentality. You weren't created to fall apart when pressure comes. You are stronger than you think. You are more anointed than you think. God designed you with special strength, with courage, with fortitude. When you start seeing yourself as strong, empowered, well able, you won't be overwhelmed. You'll discover strength that you didn't know you had.
So if you want to do something, if you thought about something you want to do, take it head on. Decide that you're going to start becoming involved in whatever and wherever it might lead you to begin to explore the possibilities in that particular thing that you're seeking. Decide that you're going to face it, that whatever shortcomings you have, that you're going to strengthen yourself there. Whatever training that's required, that you're going to go get that training, that you're going to get started right now. Do what you can, where you are with what you have, and never be satisfied. Always strive to be more than that which you are. Yeah, don't get satisfied with yourself. Always know that wherever you are, you can enjoy more, that you deserve more.
True leadership is self-discovery. True leadership begins with an individual discovering something about themselves. That's when it really begins. And you will never become a true leader until you are introduced to yourself.
Actually, whatever happened to you that was hard, if you trust God, you can actually end up being a better person than you would have been if it would have never happened. And so God really wants us to take a real positive attitude toward things. And it's hard. It's hard when you're hurting.
Well, how do we build this self-confidence? The process of building self-confidence is actually very easy. Self-confidence is self-trust. Self-confidence is building a reputation with yourself that you keep your word to you, that you keep the promises you make to you. Somebody with self-confidence has a reputation with themselves that I do the things I say I'm going to do. That's where self-confidence comes from. When I meet someone who is not self-confident, I know this is someone who has consistently made promises to themselves they've not kept. They've made a commitment and goals to go make a certain amount of money in business. And so they have a process and a habit in their life, more often than not, of not keeping the promises they don't make to other people. They don't keep the promises they make to themselves.
You are stronger than you think. You're letting the situation overwhelm you. You think it's unbearable, but I'm here to tell you, you've got what it takes. You're courageous, you're talented, you're favored, you're well able. You weren't created to survive, but to thrive. When things that should be unbearable, you've tapped into strength that you didn't know you had. You still accomplish great dreams. Don't go your whole life and never discover what's in you. You are stronger than you think.
You got to take care of the small disciplines before life will give you a chance to handle the more complicated disciplines. You start first with the smallest of disciplines, and do not neglect them and do not disregard them as being trifling. Everything matters. Everything's important. All disciplines affect each other. Everything affects everything else. It's so easy to be casual and say, well, this doesn't matter. I'm telling you, everything matters. Then here's the positive side. Every new discipline affects all your other disciplines.
Now, self-discipline, the first thing it does is it enables you to go uphill. Nobody will carry you uphill. Nobody can coach you uphill. Nobody can push you uphill. You got to do it yourself. There are no free rides uphill. There's no such thing as accidental achievements.
So for all of us out there that are chasing after these big dreams and big goals, and we are making changes in our life to get better, all of us out there who know deep down we can do a little bit more in our lives, I want to ask you, what is your definition of success? A lot of people put success on this mountaintop and they say, I'll feel successful when I get here, when I make this amount of money, when I find this person. And a lot of people don't understand that success is all around them right now.
What would happen in your marriage, your relationships, if you'd make a small attitude adjustment? Instead of being contentious, you'd start being friendly, loving, respectful. Instead of saying harsh, critical words, you would start giving compliments. Just a small adjustment, getting your attitude a little higher. Watch those relationships begin to improve. Or maybe you've had bad breaks. Life hasn't treated you fair. And it's easy to get sour. That's a nose down attitude. You're choosing the direction you're going to go. Why don't you tilt it a little nose high? Yes, it was unfair, but I know God is my vindicator.
Step up your activity level. Step up your labor level. Go for the disciplines, the smallest of disciplines, the least of disciplines. If you'll be faithful, if you'll be disciplined when the amounts are small, we'll make you a ruler, give you a position of authority when the amounts are many. Take care of your disciplines when the amounts are small, and then life will see to it that you get some extraordinary numbers to work with. Let us not neglect, do not neglect the smallest of disciplines, and build on that foundation, and you can have everything you could possibly want.
Every multi-millionaire and every multi-billionaire in this world have all decided that I'm going to commit myself to this career, this vision, this goal. No parties. They're going to call you names. They're going to say you're corny. They're going to call you a square. Those are the characteristics of a champion. Those are the characteristics of someone that have said that I have decided that I'm going to create a shift in this universe.
Don't ask for better seed and soil. All you got's what's available. Don't curse what you got. Don't wish it was easier. Wish you were better. Don't wish for less problems. Wish for more skills. Commit yourself to learning so that you can get smarter for the days ahead. Those who do the work get the pay. Don't violate the conclusions of your own philosophy by not executing and taking action.
Managing my mind is actually the key to peace and the key to happiness. An unmanaged mind leads to tension. A managed mind leads to tranquility. An unmanaged mind leads to pressure. A managed mind leads to peace. An unmanaged mind leads to stress. If you don't manage your thoughts, you just let them go all over the place. You don't ever even try to control your mind and the way you direct your thoughts. But a managed mind leads to strength. and leads to security and leads to serenity.
As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. Why? Here's why. Because the heart is the Hebrew word that has to do with the center of reasoning. It's the place where you have meetings with yourself. Because that's where your belief system is hidden. In other words, your heart is also, Paul calls it the hidden man. The psychologists would call it your subconscious mind. I call it your hard drive.
Get going. You got to get going. You got to take action. Don't let neglect destroy your days, destroy your life, and destroy your future. Go back and do what you can. And if you'll do what you can, then life will give you some extraordinary things to do.
I can't wait to go to work today. It may not be the job I want, but at least I got a job. I'm so grateful I got a car to drive to work today. Hey man, at least I got a check coming in. I sure want to thank you, Lord, for this roof over my head today. I appreciate the fact that I don't have a car, but at least I can walk to the train. Man, this is going to be great today. You have got to change the way you think. It is the whole determining factor of where you go in life. We are all where we are today because we thought ourselves to this position.
If you make it to the end of this video, I want you to write, today, I'm going to decide to not die before I die. I want you to share this video. It's not lonely at the top if you help somebody else get there.
Credit goes to our awesome patrons who make videos like this one possible. Consider joining them to support our work. You can also support us by subscribing to our channel and clicking the bell button to get notified when our new videos are released. And as always, thank you for watching.